I'm not sure if any of you are following us on Instagram, but I'm no huge fan of new media. But we are able to post photographs from the farm on there. And if you go on to mothersgarden.org, our website, at the bottom of the main page there are the Instagram photographs. You can click on them. And one of the most recent is how we're using olive leaf mulch for a host of things in the garden. We had a good dollop of rain last weekend and into this weekend. And the ground it's been perfect for the potatoes that are now in, and for the young plants that we've taken out the pots and put in the ground. But the olive leaf mulch, the scent of it when we're doing it is fantastic. You know? I've got a bay which I've constructed next to the compost, and we'll be putting that out in the next few days. I'm going to make my way to La Petita now. I've got to clear her corral of poo, and it struck me, and it should be fairly entertaining. I'm thinking I'm going to, because some of it's quite firm, as horse poo can be, shoving it through the mulching machine to see if that will create more of a spreadable fertiliser on the land. We shall see. I've got all manner of creatures with me, wandering with me, dogs and cats and butterflies, and I'm going to make my way to the corral to do that and to feed her. She's looking a bit fed up because I'm a bit late out of the blocks. On the terrace where she is, we've been clearing bramble. I've watched for a few days, checked there's nothing nesting in this. It's only about 30 metres of bramble, but we'd lost the old stone wall, so we've been strimming and clearing, and then it'll give us more room to plant, increase the size of one of the vegetable beds that we have on the flat terraces, where we used to have, there go the bells. That's cool. 1:30 something. I have no idea. I think it's probably 1:30. Petita. Tilly and Petita are mucking around here. Tilly! Stop it, Tilly, please. And beautiful flat terraces. We used to have an enormous Anglo-Arab, lovely creature, but a bit, it was called Spook, and he used to bounce around, and Joe came off him a few times. I think I've told you this. But he was on this piece of ground, and then we let it lie fallow for a while. Now it's perfect for vegetables, and so having got rid of the bramble, which I'll try and harrow out the root, we can plant some more stuff. Right, I first of all must feed this pony. Hello, gorgeous girl. How you doing? Good morning. Where's your bucket? There you go. Let it go. Right, got to find a wheelbarrow from somewhere. We have 3 wheelbarrows and they all keep disappearing. It's always the way, isn't it? Come on, Tilly, we're going to go back. Come on now. Right, I've got on the next terrace up, running along the red stone wall, terraced wall, our wood piles, and after all the snow damage we have got quite a lot of logging going on. But along with the bee eaters, of course, the warming of the land and the sun out and the longer days. The other thing that will be happening now are the snakes. Obviously we have lizards and all manner of reptiles here, but let me talk about the snakes for a moment. They'll be emerging and basking, and these terrace walls are perfect for them with the spacing, and the terrace walls actually will go a good metre deep, although it doesn't look like that. It looks like a single stone depth of wall about waist height, beautifully laid in the distant past. But they had to be about a metre deep to give the support, because the soil beyond them that actually overlaps them right to the edge, so you can't see the deep stone, provides a lot of cover. And we have vipers, yes. I grew up in North Norfolk, free ranging around there and running through the pine woods, etc., where the adders were plentiful, and saw quite a few. Never got bitten, fortunately. Similar sort of viper here, not an adder, but it is of similar potency, if you want to call it that. And if you get to a doctor, hopefully you'll be okay, but it's a very nasty bite. But I've only seen a few here, and they don't seek us, they disappear. We do not, we respect them. We have ladderbacks, lovely green snakes with 2 lines along their backs. The young ones actually look very much like a viper in terms of the diamonds along their back, and are very black and grey, but they grow into these stunning, up to, I would say, 1.5 to even 2 metres long, beautiful green snakes. And then we have the European whip snake, which can be quite grey or quite black, similar length. Again, quite plentiful. We've seen quite a few, about as plentiful as the ladderbacks. We have the Montpelliers, which are again quite long and very bold. Actually, they do have a the other two, the ladderback and the European whipsnake, aren't poisonous, but the Montpellier is, but nothing like a viper, and they are quite bold. As I said, they won't retreat or anything like that. But again, all of the snakes and everything that I'm listing are joys of nature, and they live here with us, and they do not seek us. And so it's only by error that we might encounter them and create a negative moment. But that, frankly, for us, rarely ever happens. And so it's such a moment when they come out and we see them basking, and that will allow us to approach quite close and to study them. They in turn, of course, we do have grass snakes as well. They in turn have brought the short-tailed eagles, the snake-eating eagles, out, and they're above our heads most days. So it's the circle of life. And every day I peruse this wall behind the corral, because it's here, I think, probably, and the next terrace down, where I've seen the most snakes lying in the grass and on the pine needles. Right, here we go. Let's get on with taking these things back to the house. Sometimes, I think it might be better if I didn't speak at all on these podcasts and I just left it to the birdsong. I'm going to leave a great lump of birdsong on this. That's not lump, isn't the right word, is it? Symphony for you on this podcast, because it is breathtaking. And see what you can hear among these voices. Some are obvious, some are not. It is a very magical April morning. The storms have passed, and the very good news is the bee eaters are back on the farm, and that means a lot. The swallows came about 2 weeks ago. We're busy covering everything inside the barn so that we don't refuse flatly to stop them coming in. And they've got about 8 nests now on the beams in the roof. So I'm going to go and try and record the bee eaters for you too, but it is a time of colour and song and hope, and we share that with you. Maggie's just brought me a cup of tea, so haven't you?
Aren't you a lucky boy?
I am a lucky boy. It's a very grey day, but hopefully they'll come round and you can hear them. high in the grey there are lots of fast moving specks, and they are the bee eaters, and they came back yesterday, and now they're just circling and soaring and wondering perhaps they came a bit too early because it's still very grey and cold, and it looks like it could rain again once more. But now you hopefully can hear them.